Yo, my name is Julian Melnick, and welcome back to the Console Gaming Channel. Guys, we are going to be talking about E3 Day 1. It's wrapped, it's done, and we need to get you caught up on the multiple hours of video game news that just came out. Some new games, some new presentations, some cool, some not so cool. We're going to get you caught up, and we're going to try to do it all in under 10 minutes. All right, starting with the first and foremost, we got E3 back. We got presentations, we got different video game companies coming together and giving you the different things that you want, and some really, really big surprises, which is really fun to know about and fun to hear about, as well as just gamers talking and gamers being gamers, right? It's just good to see the community live, the community vibrant, the community just being awesome together. And the first presentation that we got, the first official presentation from E3, not going back to the Summer of Gaming that we've got and some of the other presentations earlier in the week, but starting E3 Day 1, the first one we got was Ubisoft. With Ubisoft, I learned something new. They're a French company? I didn't know that. I don't know how I didn't know that, but I did. And just moving down the list of the things that I'm excited for, and then the ones that I'm not so excited for, but that they exist, we start with Riders Republic, which is like a somewhat open-ish world, massive multiplayer racing game. You can do snowboarding tricks, you can do wingsuit tricks, you can ride bikes down mountains, it's just crazy. There's a bunch of different tricking you can do, and it looked like, at first I'm like, okay, come on, this is going to be weird. But then the longer I watched it with some of the people on that we watched with today, it was just like, whoa, this actually looks like a great deal of fun. And from a fan of SSX and 1080 snowboarding, like, this game looks sick. So I was really excited for that. And somewhere it's coming to is Stadia. Now, Stadia got actually a lot of love in this. In fact, so much so they even talked about Stadia being more supported, and I don't know how I feel about it. This is Stadia and Luna. Stadia being Google's streaming video game service, and Luna being Amazon's. We're getting some new streaming options, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen down in later days of E3 if they're going to talk more about Stadia and Luna. But yeah, this is going to be coming to Stadia and Luna and other systems as well. Pretty interesting. Next is going to be Valhalla. Yes, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They're getting more support. We're going to get more of the main story. We're going to get more of different things. New DLC, Siege of Paris, as well as a really, really cool thing, Discovery Tour Viking Age, which is going to allow you to play different characters during the Viking Age and just learn what it was like to be around during that time. And it's going to be more of like a history story, an interactive history story. I think that's pretty darn cool. And Valhalla being an Assassin's Creed game that I yet have had the wonderful joy of playing, I'm excited to see what's there, and I'm going to get involved. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get the season pass and just see what we got, because it looks like it's getting a tremendous amount of support. They're listening to the community. They're listening to what kind of bugs are there, what kind of different things, what they need to fix, and they are heavily supporting this game, even more so that they're looking 2 years down the line of different things they can do for the game. So it's really cool to see that Ubisoft's jumping in and doing some cool things. And then we got a really interesting in-game trailer for Far Cry 6. I have not played a Far Cry game, but man, it was dark. It was super, super dark. And, well, it caught my attention. It's because it's different. It's because it's a game that doesn't just keep iterating. It actually is innovating and changing the way that a game is played. It's progressing a story, really, really going down the line and pushing the boundaries on what a cinematic game could be, and I was blown away. I thought it was really, really crazy. I thought the story was insane. Also, they're going to be doing some really weird stuff with Far Cry. Letting you go back in time and interact with the different villains and become the different villains, and they have some big plans for Far Cry, and it looks like they even got the big plans for a streaming service called Ubisoft Plus, allowing you to stream the games. They give you very, very little information on that. They just kind of threw a bunch of things in rotation and then put Ubisoft Plus at the end of it. And then they announced a few other games, Rainbow Six Extraction, Rainbow Six Siege, next season, I believe so. And then they talked about the Avatar game, one that I wasn't really too excited about. It looks beautiful, it looks awesome. The Avatar game has a following based on the number of votes it got as far as most exciting things. And yeah, that was pretty much the rest of it. They also announced 2 movies that they're working on, one of them being Werewolves Within, and another one, Mythic Quest Season 2, which is not a movie. I got that wrong. That is actually a television show. Season 1 is currently streaming on Apple TV+. So that is what is going on with Ubisoft. Now moving on to Gearbox. First off, their presentation was hysterical. It was so funny, so exciting, and I loved every minute. I was really into it. It was so cool, so much fun to watch, and it was only half an hour long, whereas Ubisoft was 1 hour long. I left kind of wanting more, but with Gearbox, they just threw you into it, and it was such a rad, cool presentation, leading with the Borderlands, now I'm saying this correctly, movie. Yes, we got a little bit of on-set time with the director, with the creator of Borderlands. We got Borderlands movie starring, and here's the the incredible cast it's got. Now I'm just gonna name a few because these are the ones that really stood out to me. It's got Jack Black, it's got Kevin Hart, which is insane, and it's got Cate Blanchett. Borderlands got some serious love. A little bit more, another review, another trailer for Tiny Tina's Wonderland coming out early 2022. Tiny Tina being a DLC from Borderlands 2, a really fun DLC. A lot of fun, different things you can do learning about Tiny Tina, but she's getting her own game. And what I really liked about it was she kept saying stuff like roll for initiative, and she threw some D&D dice. I mean, and the game has trolls and dragons and stuff like that. It looks like we're gonna get this like Tiny Tina, Borderlands-esque in this like D&D world. I'm excited. I'm excited. It looks fun. It looks awesome, and it's really exciting to see this report on this next gen stuff. And it was awesome. Wanda Sykes being a part of that, Andy Samberg being a part of that, Will Arnett being a part of that. Like, they're pulling out the stops. They're getting some heavy hitters to voice these characters. I mean, it was crazy, and it looked really fun too. Another game they announced was Tribes of Midgard, which looked so rad. It kind of had this top-down feel, and the mechanics of it were interesting, whereas you go out and raid during the day, go gather stuff, raid different enemies, and pull back resources, build out your village to defend during the night when the demons come out, and you try to make sure that you keep your base and your tree completely guarded. And it's super cool looking. It gave me some real Gauntlet Legend vibes, as well as just a really awesome like kind of tower defense slash hack and slash, but it looked cool. And what I like about it is it's inexpensive. Available again on multi-platform. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And by multi-platform, I just mean on Steam and PlayStation. And finally, we got upgrades and updates and some fun things for Godfall. A series that I know very little about, but it looks like there's going to be even more loot, even more different type of armor sets, even more support, and a PlayStation 5 update to make it look nice and juicy and sexy and wonderful. And that, my friends, my dear friends, is the quick super duper update. What you guys missed, what we saw, what different things we saw. You can of course watch the full presentations to see everything, but these are the big heavy hitting things. You guys know what I'm excited for. I'm excited for that Borderlands movie, for Tiny Tina's Wonderland coming out in the earliest 2022. I'm stoked for it all, guys. I'm stoked for that stuff. And Ubisoft, you guys got me. I'm going to be playing Valhalla soon. I'm going to be getting involved with the Far Cry games and Tribes of Midgard. I am stoked. Keep your eye out for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be some great fun. So I guess that's it for today, guys. This is the recap. I'm excited to see what Day 2 is all about. And, well, last but certainly not least, happy gaming.